Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I bring to you the top performing team in the Kanto Cup. Doesn't have XLs, pretty accessible Pokemon. It does have a legacy Pokemon in it, but it's alright. If you have it, if you've been playing for a while, you likely have this mon already. Or like if you've been playing for like the past 2 years, so it's okay. But for my mental health reminder, make sure you take a deep breath. We have 2 weeks left in the season, so you still have time along with the Go Battle Day to make Legend if you haven't made it yet. That's still plenty of time. If you guys played since the last year, I mean not last year, if you guys played since the beginning of like Go Battle League, when it was literally like you had like 6 weeks to make Legend, like you guys got this. 2 weeks plus a Go Battle Day is still a lot of time, so I wish you the best of luck. But at the same time, a little tidbit on my secrets. So, King of Charmanders, speaking of mental health, I don't let Go Battle... The reason why Go Battle League doesn't affect me too much, like emotionally, is because I kind of trained my brain through CBT, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, to basically not care about lag. I still care about it, it still happens, but like, I kind of like, it's just kind of like, it doesn't like stay there. So, my advice to you would be try to perform without as much emotion as possible. Even like happy. Because any kind of emotion during battle, this is especially true during a fight, because I do jujitsu, and I wrestle, and I grapple, you don't want to get emotional, or too emotional. You can use emotions to fuel you, but none of you are trying to, this isn't jujitsu or wrestling, so you're not trying to take someone down, or like try to force your way to like suplex someone or something like that. I've done that before. It's really bad. But yes, make sure your nerves are calm, take a deep breath before every battle, and then perform at the best of your ability. Anyways, again, this does feature the top performing Kanto Cup team. As I always say, please consider contributing to pvpoke.com. So we go to top performers, we go down here, and we go to Kanto Cup, and as you see, the top team is Nidoqueen, Lapras, and Pidgeot, with a pretty dang insane rating of 576. Really great team. As you see here, if you put it, it's going to have your Lapras as your safe switch, Pidgeot closes out, and Nidoqueen's in the lead. Great stats across the board. The issue with this team, and you'll see when I do my Shoutcast, is that there's a lot of Hypno leads. Usually Nidoqueen can force its way through a lot of things, just straight Poison Jab because of the debuff, and Poison Jab is just a monster of a move anyways, but at the same time, it's very rough, because what happens is that, because you see so many Hypno leads, or if you see a Hypno in the back, a Hypno with Thunder Punch has a great matchup against Lapras and Pidgeot. And it can erase your Nidoqueen. So Hypno, even though it doesn't say here in the potential threats, is going to be your worst nightmare. Along with that, there's a lot of the Ice meta going around. So you see a lot of Dugong leads, and you'll see a lot of Lapras leads. So it's a very, very iffy matchup. If you lose the lead, you safe switch in a Lapras and try to play out the match. I'm going to show you a match where I give it a shot and try to, but it's really hard to play out of a losing lead with this team. So it's made it to the top, so I don't doubt it performs well, but it's still very, like, iffy on how it's, like, played, because, like I mentioned, the current Kanto meta is really, like, Confusion Ice heavy, so it's, like, it's very awkward. But anyways, this team still has a low threat score of 574, which is, like, mid-tier high. Still pretty dang low. The high is, like, 600, and the low is, like, I believe the lowest I've seen is, like, 494 from my last videos. But as you see, if you lose the lead, you say switch into Lapras, try to Skull Bash, Surf Bait Shields, and try to play out the matchup. But usually what happens is that they'll have the, Lapras in the back, which beats both Nidoqueen or Pidgeot, or the hard cat. There's things that beat both Nidoqueen and Pidgeot, like Hypno with Thunder Punch, like I mentioned. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so here are the battles. As you see here, this is the example of me trying to play out of Hypno lead. This is like Hypno Lapras. If you lose the lead, you safe switch into Lapras and try to play the match out. Usually it doesn't end too well for you because you get Machamped, or they have a really hard counter for what you got. So we get a Lapras mirror, which is not that bad actually, because I will get to a Skull Bash first. So I'm going to just straight Skull Bash here. There's no point in baiting, and hopefully I can grab a shield or two, or just like try to do the best I can. But seeing as our opponent didn't shield here, they probably have something that's really strong against Lapras. Because what's going to happen in this scenario is even if I win Switch, like, Hypno has such a baller matchup against Nidoqueen that, unfortunately, no matter how many, like, if you've watched Fate Grand Order or, like, any of the Fate series, you know how, like, the heroes, well, this is anime, so if you watch any of them, like, they're so overpowered. Unfortunately, Lapras isn't that overpowered. So, especially in this cup, even if it's +2 on defense, this Hypno is going to farm the unholy hell out of me. And this is why, because of the fact that even though I did get this off, I managed to take out the Lapras. Our opponent's doing this for a reason, because they're like, haha, I know you have Nidoqueen, so something's gotta give. The only thing is they just don't have my back row, so you basically have to bank that Pidgeot can beat whatever is in the back, which isn't a great, it's not a great thing. They'll Thunder Punch me down, and I have to send in Pidgeot, otherwise my Nidoqueen will get confusion down. There's a lot of instances where Hypno can beat Nidoqueen just because of the fact that it does so much damage. And as you see here, we're in a really rough spot. So this kind of sucks. I try to. So here's the mistake. I try to actually blow through both shields with Earth Power, but I should have baited in this scenario. You'll actually see the mistake here. So I was like tapping furiously with like Earth Power. And then I like tap it and then trap Poison Fang because I was undecisive. But I, like, subconsciously is like, dude, this guy is going to shield. So I should have Poison Jabbed. There goes the Earth Power shielded. If I did the Poison Jab, I would have caught the shield off. And then I could have Earth Power to grab the second shield. It still would have been a rough matchup. That Hypno still has a ton of energy. And I basically have to Brave Bird the crap out of this Alolan Sandslash. And it would be GG's anyways. Because the Ice type is usually in the back, or you have something like this, an Alolan Sandslash, or you have a Lapras or Dugong, the Ice type meta beats your lead and your closer. So this team's kind of AB. It's like ABA. So it's really, really rough. This Ice Punch will go off. This will KO our Nidoqueen. If we got that move, if we got the Earth Power off, we wouldn't be able to make it to another Earth Power anyways. We would just get Ice Punch down. But that was the better play I would have got, because I could pop both shields, and then I would have came out. I possibly could have won this match. As you see, Thunder Punch does go off, and then I'm lagging, but it's okay. And I still have to take out Hypno and a whole Alolan Sandslash, so that's GG's. Again, if you lose the lead, try to switch to Lapras and play it out. But this lead is really good, because against Chansey or against Lickitung, as you see here, you can just straight Poison Fang to victory. Our opponent switches out, and then we switch out mad fast to match them. And then we're going to go for the Feather Dance. I usually straight Feather Dance down here. I will shield this, but I don't shield the second Thunder Punch, and then we go for the Feather Dance. So Lickitung, yes, it's in the 2 shield. It's a great matchup, but as you see, we're down a shield now. So our opponent is probably not going to shield anything else, which is actually pretty terrible for us. As you see, they do grab the shield with the Feather Dance, so that's great. But at the same time, it's kind of rough. Even though I get this extra Gust through, we're gonna have to either Burb or Feather Dance. And I should be able to live this Thunder Punch, because this is a -2 attack Hypno. We do manage to get it off, and then here comes the second Feather Dance. This won't KO. But at the same time, I'd like to get a little bit of energy or damage. So we'll see what we can do from here. Feather Dance goes off, and we don't kill, but, like, it's okay. So this is a misplay on my part. I should have burbed. It would have been better to burb, because they wouldn't get much farm off of our Pidgeot. So this is a misplay on my part, but because the King of Charmanders is so goated and just so freaking good at the game, because he uses a subconscious, my subconscious is like, okay, no, we're good. We're Gucci. Even though this Pidgeot has a +2 right now, so we're pretty screwed. We send in the Lapras. Lapras can hopefully clutch out this match. As you see here, we get the Lickitung, and then what we're going to do is we're going to Poison Fang. What the game plan here is to straight Poison Fang, debuff the unholy heck out of this huge, thick, huge booty Lickitung. Hopefully it's not Jesse's, because Jesse's is very touchative, and it's going to get a lot of moves off, but that's okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to straight Poison Fang. Debuff as much as we can, send in the Lapras. Lapras with a bajillion energy can possibly close off this matchup. Again, I really should have just let my Pidgeot go. Brave Bird would have been fine, and then just let Pidgeot go. That would have been the better play, because we would still have an extra shield. So now we're going to have to play behind shields. As you see here, Body Slams do go off. They should get to the next one. I'm really iffy about, like, doing this, because, like, I don't want to do too much damage, because I want farm on this Lickitung. The game plan here is to send in the Lapras, farm down, Skull Bash. Hopefully we can live Brave Bird and get to a Surf. That's my win condition. So, as you see, we're going to farm down. Hopefully don't get to another move, and they don't. We're going to Skull Bash, as you see here, and hopefully a +1 Lapras will be able to live the Brave Bird. I timed this terribly. They get the extra gust through, so they should have the energy for the Brave Bird. They're probably going to shield this. And they do. So now our win condition is literally to get this Surf off. So we get that Ice Shard through, and I think that's what sealed the match. Ice Shard goes through. Brave Bird won't KO because I'm +1. And as you see here, it's a race to the whichever gets the fast move first. And then as you see, I get the Surf through. We fire the charge move, and that's GG's. This works this way because 3 versus 4 turn moves. So 4 turn move has to complete and then energy has to register. And that's GG's. With 1 HP and a Lapras and a misplay, we still come out with the dub. So really impressive match, and I loved it. For our next match, we have another Nidoqueen. Of course, that's our Nidoqueen versus a Marowak. So this is actually terrible because Ghost resists poison. So you have to Earth Power through shields, but because I'm so reckless and I'm just ultra aggressive, as you see here, I'm just tapping straight away at the Earth Power. King of Charmander don't care. I'm not going to shield this to make this person think like, okay, they're just stacking Nidoqueen in the lead. I can possibly farm it down. They're baiting with a poison jab. But you already know, this magnitude 69420 Earthquake is going to come from the ground for my Nidoqueen. I'm going to show this Marowak who's boss by lifting the earth from underneath its feet. And then, okay, so that, I don't know why I didn't OKO there, but that was pretty dang epic. The magnitude 69420 Earthquake comes through, and then the Emerald Marowak gets farmed down. We get a Poliwrath, which is alright because I can get these poison jabs off because I still have so much health on my Nidoqueen. Hopefully, I'll be able to get one more off before we go down. We do heavy damage with this poison jab. I mean, poison, yeah. Well, poison fang, poison jab damage. And because my IVs are pretty dang good on my Nidoqueen, we are able to get to another poison fang. Our opponent might elect to shield here just because it's going to do heavy damage, and it does. And now we can send in our Pidgeot. I will shield one. Even if this isn't an Ice Punch, I want Pidgeot with some health because we're in the ones anyways and they're already hurt. So I don't want to... Don't be too stingent with your shields. And we get a Muck. So that was the right play right there because what happens is that now I should be able to shield one move, get to a Feather Dance, and then I don't have to worry about shielding the rest because we're going to be able to debuff this Muck. And then our Lapras should be able to close out this matchup. I overtap here, which is okay, because we're still able to get the Feather Dance off. And then what's going to happen is they'll be down -2, so I won't really have to shield anything coming out. They don't shield the Feather Dance. That's all right. What we're going to do is we're just going to farm down here, and then we're going to be able to basically Feather Dance the back row. And then we're just going to we can Ice Shard a victory, or just because, like, Pidgeot's so goated, maybe he'll just be able to farm down the back row. I'm going to fire the Feather Dance off. They will have to shield, and then we should be able to just gust down, just because I have so much health. Like I mentioned, don't get too stingent with your shield. It's already the closing match like this. Like, banking on the 2 zeros is okay, but, like, if it's like a meta like Kanto where it's pretty balanced, you don't want to bank on it too much. So, as you see here, this was the right play. This is probably Dynamic Punch because they probably don't have Scald Energy. And it is. Dynamic Punch goes off. And then what we're going to do here, all we're going to do is just send you the Merca. Go American Burb. Actually, my bird is from California. So I was going to say it's from Las Vegas just because I go to Las Vegas a lot. But no, it's not from Las Vegas. Anyways, we go to our next battle, GG's, and we get a Primeape. This is great. Against any fire lead, you win pretty hard, except here's the problem. Primeape has Ice Punch. So, usually what I do here is if you get a Primeape, I will just shield the first one. If it's a Machamp, you resist both Cross Chop and Rock Slide, so you wall them, so you don't have to worry about shielding against the Machamp. As you see here, we're just going to straight Poison Jab to victory. They threw a Night Slash, so what my opponent can do is throw a Night Slash and then throw an Ice Punch, like 2000 IQ me. But I'm predicting that, okay, if you throw a Night Slash and try to boost, you probably don't have Ice Punch. So I won't shield this one. And sure enough, they don't have Ice Punch. This is a Night Slash Close Combat Primeape or some other move. We're able to get the second Poison Fang off, and we should be able to just win the lead. My opponent's either going to shield or let it go. The smarter move would be just let it go. And sure enough, they do let it go. Next in should be the Hypno, and it's a Hypno! Because you know, it's a freaking Hypno. But my IVs are goated enough to where we can just let them get that confusion through and get a Poison Jab off. This is great for us because this means we are able to debuff this Hypno and put in a really bad spot when it's up against our Pidgeot. As you see, the confusion that goes through kills my Nidoqueen, but she's still goated. And as you see here, we're going to send American Burb, get an extra gust through, and this is likely a Thunder Punch. So I'm going to just eat it because we still have Lapras in the back. I have no idea what's going on. This Hypno's so hurt that I can choose to shield, farm it down all the way, which I'm basically going to do here. Farm it down. And then what I'm going to do is that we're just going to Feather Dance the back row and leave it locked in with a -2, giving Lapras a really great advantage against whatever's in the back. As you see, Hypno goes down, and we see the back row. It happens to be a Lickitung. So I could have burped here. But we're just going to Feather Dance, as you see here. And then we're going to pop the shield. Even if it's a burb, it's alright. So now I can probably get to farm, or I'll CMP. And sure enough, I CMP. So, as you see here, we are going to get the burb off, which is great. I wanted to pull this off. Even if it wasn't so, like, it would have been okay, because even at -2, we should be able to get 2 Brave Birds off. But I just wanted, just in case, I wanted to, like, leave Lapras with this -2 Lickitung. Just give you a lot of extra win cons and say, in case Go Battle decides to take your soul. And we should be able to just farm down here. Or we just hit the surf. And as you see, our opponent has accepted defeat, and this is GG's. That wasn't an XL, by the way, but even then, it wouldn't have mattered. Because we still would have been able to get that Feather Dance off, and then like Lapras with a -2 Lickitung is still a really great matchup. We get Nido on Nido action. So this is what happens when you're in the mirror. Whoever lands the Earth Power when CMP wins. Usually it's CMP. Or it's just how the match plays out, because you can still go like the bait game. As you see, I'm incredibly reckless, so I'm just going to throw the Earth Power right away. I've got the power. If you know that song, it's a great song, and I definitely recommend you play it in the morning when you wake up, because it makes you feel so good, especially when your Earth Power goes right through 2 shields, and that's GG's. Ouch. Yeah. Yep. I got no chill, but it's okay. They send in a Lapras, which is actually terrible for us, but we're just going to Poison Fang. And then this Lapras should be able to get to a Surf, and we're going to let our Nidoqueen go. Again, when you get the mirror, it really depends on who gets the Earth Power. That's literally what it is. Or if you win CMP, then you can... If you both go straight Earth Power, but you win CMP, you'll win the matchup just because you win CMP. But, you know, just because of how broken the game is right now, like, I just, like, you know, try to play to the best of your ability. We're going to send Lapras, of course, because Pidgeot is weak to Lapras, and we get a Marowak. So we send in our Pidgeot, and this is probably a Bone Club Shadow Bone or Shadow Ball Whack, because they instantly quit out, and that's GG's. As you see, like, you have a very positive matchup against Alolan Marowak. So if they're not coloring Fire Blast, they're probably going to quit, like you saw there. We get another match, and this is a Pinsir versus our Nidoqueen. I was very confused. That's a Shadow Pinsir. We get a Nidoqueen. I'm going to send in Lapras, and we're just going to Street Surf down. So I was really confused. I was like, is that a Pinsir? And sure enough, it's a Pinsir. So I was like, it's a Shadow Pinsir, by the way, which it's very interesting. But despite the fact this is basically an RPS matchup. So when you have Nidoqueen versus Lapras, if you eat the Earth Power, it kind of sucks for you. Because what happens in this instance is they can straight Poison Fang you down. So then you decide whether or not you want to shield for Earth Power. Because you're going to see it here. They're going to be able to take back this matchup. Because I didn't shield. We're going to shield, but this is okay. Because since we wiped out that entire Nidoqueen, like, we're vibing pretty hard right now anyways. We still have 2 full Mons. We still have a shield too. So... We're gonna have 1 Mon versus 2 whole Mons. So hopefully we can clutch it out. Surf goes through. They let their Nidoqueen go. If they decide to shield here, they could take us out though. But because they're already in such a rough spot right now, it's perfectly fine. They send in their Hypno. I will send in Pidgeot. And then all we're going to do is Confusion. Well, not Confusion. Like, they're gonna, like, this is gonna be a 4-turn move Frenzy. And we're just gonna basically, like, yeah. It's gonna be Gust versus Confusion. As you see here, we don't manage to get an extra one through, which is okay, but that's perfectly fine, because we're probably going to get punched in the face. Thankfully, it's not like One Punch Man, you know what I mean? One Punch Man is ridiculously overpowered, and he kills all of his opponents in one punch. Except for that, like, one villain who survives, like, everything, but I don't know. I forgot what episode that was. But yes, Saitama is incredibly overpowered. If you know what I'm talking about, if you're an anime nerd, we can be friends. We're going to fire the Feather Dances, though. We're going to try to debuff the unholy crap out of this Hypno. At this point, they do have the shield anyways. So, it doesn't matter what they throw now. With the -2, I should be able to live it, unless it's Focus Blast. So, but they shouldn't be at Spirit Bomb energy. Goku's overpowered, but he's died like 7 times in the series, man. So he's not that great. Well, he's great, but you know, you gotta give Vegeta some love. And it's kind of terrible because they managed to farm us down with Confusion. I send in Nidoqueen, and we're gonna eat a move unless they overtap and they get farmed down. So I was guessing that they didn't have a Shadow Ball or there was a Double Punch Hypno. Because if it was Ice Punch, it was still fine though because we could farm down. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the battles. And that's GG's to all my opponents. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This top team is very powerful, but like you saw, if you lose lead against a Psychic type, it really sucks. There's not really a lot of ways you can play out of things. You can try to nuke and be hella fancy, but in all honesty, it's really hard, man. So hopefully, for those of you that are running this team, or if you're running the teams that you are comfortable with, hopefully you guys are climbing, and hopefully you are close to legend, or if not, you've already reached your goals. I implore you all to give it your best shot. It is increased Stardust for this upcoming Bow Battle Day. So, if I may implore you to put in those reps, get in that practice, and steal everyone's elo, so that you may gain and get really rich off of the Stardust. Well, you know, Stardust is like basically like if you think about it, like one of my I remember a long time ago when on the community that I made up when I was still in the military, Pokemon Go Raiders, Cheyenne, Wyoming, one of the kids yelled out, it was funny. It was so funny because he was like, Stardust is like drugs, and I was like, we were just all dying because it's necessarily true. Like, in the Pokemon series, in the main game series, you don't use Stardust to power up your Pokemon. You battle, and then after that, you gain experience points. But in Pokemon Go, it's about Stardust. So, you know, it's kind of, how does Stardust get employed to your Pokemon? So, it kind of makes sense, you know what I mean? We're kind of drugging our Pokemon in Pokemon Go so they can get powered up, which is actually hilarious, and now that I think about it, it's actually pretty true. Anyways, I hope you guys are excited for this. I might do, like, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl content. If you approve of that, like, I'm going to try to make it as funny and hilarious as possible so that you guys can have some entertain, because I can make some jokes. I can make jokes. But put in the comments if you would like to see that. I like to keep this channel specifically Pokemon. So if you want to see that, or you would just like PvP content, just let me know. Because we are waiting down to the last couple of season, so I'm gonna be doing viewer submissions, or I'm gonna be doing like Brilliant Diamond stuff. But I want to make it really hilarious because I've never actually like made content for the main series game. So let me know if you would like it in the comments. Hopefully you guys are doing great. Do me a huge favor, please like and subscribe. It's totally free. You can easily subscribe by putting your mouse to the bottom right. See a little box right there? Put your mouse over it, bam, you can subscribe. Really appreciate my current subscribers. You guys are absolutely goated. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video. じゃーん